Ding dong, the Tim is dead as Neil Lennon leaves Celtic while Gerrard and the rest of Scotland are not surprised. Meanwhile, the SFA fuck up again. Aberdeen click, Livy slip, and Motherwell are pretty shit. It's episode 10 of the False 90s podcast. With me today we have Marcus, Kyle, and Lewis. How are you all doing tonight, guys?
I'm good, man.
I'm okay. I'm just waiting for another endless supply of Neil Lennon memes to be delivered to my Snapchat. It's going quite well.
Wait, Sam, see, how do you have like a write down of all the intros that you do, or do you just make them on the spot?
I'll write them all down.
Alright. It's pretty good. I'll get you that.
That was a decent one.
Yeah, we'll start this week with the news coming out of Celtic Park. Neil Lennon has left. Andy is not on the pod, but I'm sure he is celebrating right now after a 1-0 loss. Well, he's not celebrating the 1-0 loss to Ross County, but he's celebrating that Neil Lennon is gone.
Neil Lennon's celebrating that he's gone, or what?
No, Andy's celebrating that Neil Lennon's gone.
Andy, alright, Andy, okay. Yeah, I was thinking. I think I'm actually surprised. I thought they would give him to the end of the season. Because it seems like an odd time to get rid of him, but then
Yeah.
I
mean, I think he's been waving about for a while. He's been on the curve, as you would say, of either staying or going. So it doesn't surprise me that he's gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously after the back of the loss at the weekend or during the week, it was pretty devastating. Not for me anyway. It was pretty good, but for the Celtic fans, I think that is the final straw, and the final straw ages ago, to be honest. But it doesn't surprise me that he's gone. But it's a shame that he's gone.
Adrian Lennon gone.
He's been doing such a good job. No, it's devastating for the guy because all he's ever said is try to do his best, but at times it's not just down to the manager. Obviously, you can blame his tactics, but mainly it's down to the players on the pitch and how they perform. And I just don't think they've been connected as such, the manager and the players. So
yeah, that's probably right.
See, you're obviously saying, like, obviously Marcus, you said about him, you didn't think that he would go at this point of, and you're talking, Kyle, you're talking about the last straw for this sort of the Celtic fan base there, but it's I kind of agree with Marcus. I didn't think that he would go now, because you've now just put a club that, as much as they know the league's gone, they need to hold on to second.
Yeah, of course, man.
And now you've put a club into turmoil. So you've got obviously you've got your assistant manager still there who'll step up and take charge interim until they can get a new replacement in, which I don't think they now will before the end of the season, because no one wants to come in as the manager that didn't get and that's now also on Celtic. It's not Celtic's record. Sorry, that's now on Lennon's record. You were the manager who failed to do 10 in a row for Celtic. You were the manager who didn't get us a quintuple treble. It's like that's now on his record. That's a black mark.
From going to a club legend to that is it's ruined his reputation. It's part of the reason as well. When we got rid of Lennon, I didn't want Stubbs back, for example, because he's already had his legacy at Hibs, and we don't really want to see it ruined. But that's just an example of what can happen. What's happened to Lennon at Celtic, the same. I can't think of anyone at the top of my head, but Kyle, I'm sure you've got plenty past sort of Rangers managers and whatnot. They could take the mantle again, but maybe not do as well, and it might tarnish their reputation, and it's maybe not what you want for somebody that you've hold really dearly. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing they could have done when they got rid of Rodgers is get somebody new in my point of view. I think it was done as soon as...
I think it was all by class, like when he was appointed in the shower. That just shows you, really.
Was he? Yeah, well...
Yeah, appointed in the shower after the cup win.
My verdict on Lennon is he's good when everything's going well. We've seen it at us, we've seen it at Celtic. When everything's sort of panning out right, it's fine, but when things start not working, he finds it really hard to turn it around, and he then resorts to blaming everyone but himself and just alienating the fans, the players. So it's funny because watching this at Celtic, it's like I can look at it and say I've seen it all before. Like, it's the same patterns that have happened at Hibs with him. So yeah, I'm saying I'm surprised he's been sacked like at this point, but in terms of him leaving, I'm not surprised that he'll leave in general. Just a bit surprised by the timing. But
Yeah,
the pattern
but
is familiar.
Back to what you said, Lewis, about your, like, as well as Marcus, what you just said just there. Like, you're surprised that he's gone now. But yet again, I'm not. What I'm saying is, why I'm not surprised that he's gone is because of the loss after Ross County. Well, if you get beat by Ross County in a game, the Celtic needed to win all their games. They still can. They still win all their games, but they needed to win their games to even remotely catch us and hope that we drop points.
Yeah.
But if you get beat by that, that's it. Gone. Done. You need to sack the manager at that point.
The thing is, as well, is that Celtic have lost twice to Ross County this season under two different Ross County managers as well.
Yeah.
Which...
Not much you need to say about that, to be honest.
Exactly, yeah. Although, we'll go back and say that the Celtic statement didn't actually say he was sacked or relieved of his duties, that he resigned, but I'm guessing it's...
Forced resign, no. Forced
to resign, yeah.
Yeah,
it was probably jumped before he was pushed. A bit like what Robinson was at Motherwell. I think he left before we got rid of him.
I'm sure he got questioned by Sky at one point, saying like, "Oh, will you leave? Blah blah blah, whatever." And he was like, "No, I'm not going to leave unless the club want me to." That's what he said.
What they've done is they've told him that they're thinking of shifting him, and he's resigned in order to keep his reputation.
To kind of save faces.
Yeah, because he's a club legend. If he gets sacked as a club legend, that's pretty bad. But if he resigns as a club legend, it doesn't tarnish his reputation as much. So I can see they've probably had a chat with him, and it's been a sacking in the sense that the board have initiated it, but they've allowed him to, go and resign. So yeah, it's sorry what happened with. I mean, us, it was kind of the same, and we still don't know what happened if he didn't resign and he wasn't sacked. Apparently, with us, we have no clue how he left.
He just left.
Just one day he wasn't there. So,
Yeah, I think it has been a long time coming, really.
Definitely, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, as well as you're saying that you're surprised that it's happened now, I'm also surprised that it's taken this long at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. There were so many games this season, I guess, where you would have said it would have been an optimal point to get rid of him. The League Cup exit to Ross County as well would have been a perfect chance to get somebody in, and maybe even have a chance of turning things around. But the fact that they've done it at such an odd point of the season means that the new manager isn't... Well, actually, no. I'm saying the new manager. I think it's going to be John Kennedy playing the season.
Yeah, well,
possibly will be. Yeah,
I've got a lot of my friends who are Celtic fans. My close one is a Celtic fan. He was saying that he thought that Lennon should have left after the Europa League embarrassing. I think it was they playing Sparta Prague, wasn't it?
No, wasn't it? It was Prague, and then
Sparta Prague. The two 4-1 losses. The two 4-1 losses.
Aye, that was Prague. I was thinking.
He said that he should have walked after then for Celtic to get a chance to get a better manager in.
Was it not Sparta?
Could have been longer.
So I said Sparta Prague. It was Sparta.
Yeah, Sparta Prague.
One of the Pragues.
Sparta Prague.
It was Sparta Prague. Yeah, he said he should have left then. He should have walked then. Because it would have give the club time to find a new manager and find the right candidate for the job.
Now it is far too late to bring someone else in. I think even if they did manage to bring someone else in, it would still go down on Lennon as he's the one who lost the 10 rather than this new guy that comes in.
Didn't lose anything.
In terms of...
So how can you lose 10 when you've not got it?
I think that's how the Celtic fans will see it. They've lost to 10 rather than they've just not got it. They've
not been up. Rangers have improved loads. and obviously
not
it just
just
shows
that,
you.
but the fact that they've not even put up a fight, I think, is the big thing. It's not that they thought they had 10 and then are annoyed that. I think it's more that they didn't even put up a fight. I don't think they'd have a problem. Well, I mean, obviously they'd be annoyed, but I don't think it would be as bad if it was like Rangers won the league and Celtic were maybe 5 behind or something like that. You know, like they actually. But the fact that they're going down with such a, a subpar, like not to standard kind of performance, like that's the main kind of reason they're annoyed with it. I think that's what they mean when they say we lost the 10. Like they didn't even put up a fight. So
I think
they're
those
18 points behind. That's not a fight. That's
that's
a
the
demolition.
thing. Like if
Yeah.
Rangers win the league, they expect Celtic to be putting up a fight and trying to stop it happen. And as much as Rangers are rampant, like Celtic aren't doing anything. You know what I mean? So that's where it comes from for them, I think. And I think it's totally fine. Like I can understand that.
I think those key failures that he's had this season, and there's been a lack of mentality at the club to actually challenge for the title.
Yeah,
There's
which
been
is
a lack
strange.
which is strange because normally one thing that Lennon has praised for is that sort of fighting mentality.
Yeah, I think he's had to tone it down though because
I think what's happened is they thought they already had it. I think that's what their loss was. They thought that they had the title already from the beginning of the season, and that's what's let them down throughout the entire season. And
I think our issues over the past few seasons has been losing points to the likes of like Hibs, Motherwell, Kilmarnock, dropping silly points. We've been decent the last few seasons playing against Celtic, beating them a few times, but it's just them that's let us down. And I think it's completely swapped the other way.
yeah,
Celtic losing silly points and then obviously getting beat by us as well.
Celtic are in the bad.
That's been. I think we should have drawn like 7, 8 games this season and
7
lost
games
3.
they've drawn.
7, yeah, and
Lost
lost
4.
3. 4.
Yeah.
Aye, 2 against us. One Ross County, two
Ross
Ross
County.
County.
2 against Hughes and 2 against Ross County.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait.
No, Ross County and St
One-
Mirren.
I was going to say,
St Mirren.
the Ross County was in a cup, wasn't
Yeah.
it? So
Anyway, it's still
5 games total.
it's completely swapped the other way around. Celtic are now dropping the silly points, and that's what's them falling behind.
Pass the baton of the banter years on.
Oh
Aye.
yes,
Yeah.
oh yes.
'Cause
It's even more sweeter this time.
my other 2 points were going to be that Lennon. I don't know if Lennon's got much of a say in who Celtic sign. I'd imagine he did, but they've brought absolute duds in like Shane Duffy, and
Yes.
then there seems to be this just like refusal of Scott Brown, sorry, the refusal of Lennon to not play Scott Brown. Like you noticed that up at Aberdeen, it was like I think it was Sorrell was having like a phenomenal game for them, and Turnbull's having a good game, and he still brings the 2 of them off, so he can put in like Scott Brown somewhere. He's got to have Scott Brown in the team.
Yeah.
And my argument to that is it'd be like Jack Ross every single week what to bring on David Gray.
Yeah,
It would.
get the Daz going. You know what I mean? Or he gets it. Because he can.
The
put in
thing
a
is,
couple.
why would you need to do that? Because there's literally no fans at the moment anyway. So
No.
I'd understand if there were fans in the ground, you'd probably bring them in to please them, but they're not. So
I would only bring the sort of players on if you're like winning comfortably, like 4-0. Like
Exactly.
I think
3-0.
it's just a.
a 1-0 up
it's
against
a-
Aberdeen, that's not.
Yeah.
Brown's just passed it in general as well.
Yeah.
But I think
But
it's just a.
I
It's
think
just
obviously
a-
because the Celtic Ross County game, you've got to give insane amount of credit to Ross County. We've not done that yet.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Like people going on about how that's a huge result for Rangers. I mean, it's huge for Ross County. I mean, that's lifted them. They're now 10th. I mean,
Yeah.
in a relegation scrap, like 3 points is massive. So.
Ross Laidlaw had a fantastic game.
Yeah.
It's
Go.
funny because he was rubbish at us, but yeah. No,
The only
it
thing
is,
I was
and-
annoyed about against that game was the Celtic players lost me a few points
Did
in
they
my
all-
team. Yeah. Still comfortably winning by 1,000, so it's alright.
I'll give credit to Ross County, like, especially obviously Jordan White, which is always good to see when he your former players, and you guys are going to turn around and say Jordan White was Jordan White at Motherwell.
That must feel really odd for you saying that. Is it a good performance? But
the thing about Jordan White when he was with us was he never got a chance. Like he never actually got much of a chance. He played his first game against Ross County, ironically, and got sent off.
Yeah.
And then Robinson never really brought him back in the team after that.
Yeah.
So he was on. It was quite funny. I think he was on about 10 minutes and had been sent off.
Jordan White he apparently made 20 appearances for Motherwell, scoring 0 goals, and since he joined Ross County in January, he's made 3 appearances and scored twice.
Not bad.
I think he just likes to be up there. He was a Cali player for a bit, and maybe it's just that environment for him.
I think some players just suit certain clubs. Like Scott Allen has only been decent in his career when he's been at us, for example. Some players just suit for some reason.
Just like kind of vibe with the environment more kind of thing, and settle easier.
Yeah.
We'll look
could be less pressure as well at certain clubs.
Look at Tony Watt, like for Motherwell, he was all right at Celtic, but then became a bit of a journeyman after that. I think the last club he played for before he came to Motherwell was like CSKA Sofia, I'm sure, in Bulgaria.
Yeah, he's been all over the place. Yeah, he was
he's a total journeyman.
Played in Belgium, England. Or Belgium, yeah.
And now he's committed his long-term future. And that's how I kind of look at Jordan White. It might be that he's came to Motherwell thinking step up for, obviously compared to Ross County, we're a bigger club, but maybe he is kind of suited to being in the sort of mid-table mountain or relegation scrap teams. Maybe no made for a club where he can't sort of fit in. And then maybe it's I don't know, it's maybe just a confidence thing. He's better up there than he is down here.
No, probably.
Yeah.
So all credit to the boy, like.
Well, from Dingwall we move to Antwerp, where Rangers kicked off their knockout round of the Europa League with a thrilling 4-3 win. I'll go over to Carl for this one.
Oh my god, what a weird game of football to watch, honestly. It would be good if you're a neutral fan. It would have been an absolutely thriller to watch. I thought Rangers played pretty decent up until I think when Tavernier came off, we sort of dropped a wee bit. Obviously, I hope Tavernier gets better soon. Hopefully, he's back to lift 55. But yeah, weird game to say the least. It was very open, which you'd expect in Europe. Both teams going and having a go at each other. Don't get me wrong, Antwerp are a good team. They're a very good team. They got results against Tottenham, which was good for them, despite Tottenham not being the greatest team. Well, playing that great. But yeah, the first goal came with Joe Rebo. Keeper K had quite an absolute wafter, and Morelos in there again, and then a Rebo with quite a long range, basically open net. So it's a good goal to watch. Good off my seat moment there.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And then sort of with the last 10 minutes was when it just went completely bonkers. Was obviously they equalised, the very good strike from Avenatti. Yeah. And then for some reason in the 45 plus 8 minutes they got a very, very soft penalty. I don't know about if you guys saw that. Davis had the slightest touch on the player, and I know due to the rules, if you make contact with a player, they'll go down. I don't think it was a penalty. Well, obviously, I'm going to say don't think it's been. I don't think there's enough contact for with the guy. Like, as soon as Davis gave him a slight touch on his left boot, he had a reaction to it and went down. Obviously, I think it went to VAR as well, and I don't think it even did went to VAR actually, and the ref just gave the penalty. And it was
it would have been checked by VAR, but yeah,
it would have been yeah. What do you guys think of that? Because I want to hear your opinions on that penalty incident. if you saw it.
For me, it did seem a little bit soft, but you've seen those penalties given in Europe, so
Yeah.
there's nothing really you can argue about for that. Especially when you've got
Um,
VAR, and there is a
But
little
it's
bit
the
when there's a little
slightest
bit
contact.
when it's the slightest contact and you've got VAR, then it's going to be a penalty no matter what.
So basically, you're telling me you can't make contact, you can't defend in the box. Is basically what you're trying to say.
So
You can't.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that that's what happens with VAR. Is that
Yeah, I think them sort of things. If it's the slightest contact going, and the reaction that player had, I don't think was a penalty.
I think it was soft as well. I think the one Antwerp got was fairly soft, but I can't mind because it was a week ago. It wasn't in my team, and there was about
Yeah.
two penalties in the game, 3 penalties.
We're flying the flag of Scotland, mate.
Oh, nice, good for you.
Should be watching.
I tried to see it. I was watching the Ajax game, but
Oh my god. But yeah, and then went into halftime 2-1. It's pretty annoying, but I was still pretty confident going in the second half.
do you reckon that changed Gerard's team talk from being 1-0 up a couple of minutes before half time to being 2-1 down?
It's hard to imagine what Gerrard would say to players. I don't think he would be too. I don't think it would have changed as much, but yeah, obviously it would have changed quite a bit. But again, I think Gerrard would have been pretty calm in that situation. He seems like not a sort of guy who would shout at their players for that. And then we were pretty much in the game for the majority of that game, apart from the last 5 minutes. So I don't think he would have. But yeah, and then there was another penalty. Borna, I can't actually remember this one. It was handball, wasn't it?
No, it was first. It was
Oh yeah, Morelos.
Richie Delap bringing down Alfredo Morelos.
Yeah. Can't complain about that. To be honest, that was a clear penalty. That was a good finish by Barisic to finish that off. And then they equalised. Hongla. Can't remember their goal either, man. It's been a week. But yeah.
From outside the box shot.
Was outside the box, yeah. Good finish, to be fair. And then Ryan Kent. What can you say about that goal? Absolutely unbelievable. It's classic Kent, really. Does a couple players, 3 players, and then shoots with his right. Keeper no chance. And then got a last minute penalty, which hit the hand of Sek, and it's second yellow, so he got sent off. So that's can't play for tomorrow. Be another great finish by Barisic as well, but the keeper did get a touch on it. So, but yeah, so finished Rangers 4, Antwerp 3, and I'm not going to be as confident tomorrow because of that game, but I still think obviously it's at Ibrox, and we got the 4 away goals.
I think you'll be fine with home advantage. Like if you've got the 4 away goals and you're playing that, I think you'll be through.
Yeah, I mean, the only concern is obviously the right back position at the moment with Balogun. But don't get me wrong, Balogun did do well when he came in. I thought he had good chances, but obviously he was not going to go as far as Tavernier does. But there was one chance where it was Barisic crossed it in the box, and where Tavernier normally would be was where the ball went, and obviously Balogun wasn't there. And then I looked at my dad when we were watching it. I was like, "Oh, that was such a Tavernier, just rifler." So it's annoying, but I hope he gets better as well, and hope he's back. It's not a long injury, but it did look bad because obviously he went on a couple times, came off, and went back on again, and he continued. So, but Gerrard said that he shouldn't be out for months. It should just be a couple of weeks. So that's the good news for that. Because
he'll still be out for the second leg, wouldn't he?
I hope he's back for the Celtic game. Hope he's back for it.
Oh, Rangers followed up that 4-3 win in Europe with a 4-1 win over Dundee United at Ibrox.
Yeah. Get a lot of talking time at the moment.
Yeah.
Obviously Rangers 4, Dundee United 1. A lot of goals for Rangers, 8 goals since from Thursday to Saturday. So it's good to see us actually scoring more than one, which is good in the league. So I'll just start off with the goals. So on the 35th minute was Hadji's deflected goal. It was a good play from Aribo, and then it hit Hadji and then deflected in. Good build-up play from the back, and then we needed a goal by then because Dundee United were the better team in the first, say, 20 minutes. There was 2 chances that they had which they should have put away. Obviously, Alan McGregor's done his job. Second goal came from Ryan Kent. Another great deflection.
Just a couple of minutes later, wasn't it?
Yeah, 3 minutes later. But yeah, another deflection goal. But yeah, I'll take it. And then Joe Rebo, with probably one of the goals of the season, I would possibly say. Did a couple of players again, Joe Rebo style, and banged it right in the keeper's top left. And Morelos, his goal was a strange one. I don't know if you saw that, guys.
No, I didn't see this. I didn't see the last goal. No.
The goalie went and kicked it out, and then it hit Morales in the face. And
So you've gone from a fantastic Joe Aluear goal to a comical Alfredo Morelos goal.
Yeah, it's classic Morelos, really. Just chasing down the keeper, trying to put him under pressure, and he gets his rewards. To be honest, I think he deserved that goal because he did play very well. So his hold-up play, and I like the way Alfredo's playing than what he used to, because he used to shoot from anywhere and it's just started frustrating the fans. So he's becoming more of a team player now, which is good to see. And I think
that'll be instructions from Gerrard, obviously.
Yeah. Spicy understands them, to be honest.
Because he can't speak English, can he?
Nah. And then Bonna's penalty miss. Well, it didn't really matter, but I don't know why he went the same side as he did the last 2 penalties against Antwerp. Can you not shoot the other side or something, Bonna? And obviously they got their goal. It was just poor defending from us, but a good finish from McNulty. Yeah, it was a convincing Rangers win in the end, apart from the first 20 minutes, which Dundee United were all over us. The only thing I've got to say in the next game, we need to start from the first whistle. But it's also annoying to concede at Ibrox for the second time. But you can't be too.
I wanted to ask, how did you think Balogun played? Because obviously he'll be playing the second leg against Antwerp. How did
Balogun did well. I think he did. He's done well that game as well as Antwerp. He was actually better coming forward, obviously, because we were sitting quite high up as when he came forward. But yeah, I can't really put Balogun wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. But yeah, and obviously it's good to see Simpson come on for his debut as well. He looks a decent player, but again, he's only on for a couple of minutes, and I thought Scott Wright, when he came on as well, again did really well, and that it was actually him that put the through ball to Morelos. I think it was one of his first touches, and then the keeper chased it down and then hit Morelos in the face. So you could arguably it was an assist from Wright, but probably an assist from the goalkeeper more like. But yeah, that put us 18 points clear. Obviously, the Celtic result made it even better. Well, made it 18 points. So yeah, good weekend overall. Good week for being a Rangers fan.
Good for you.
It's all this season, isn't it?
It's good season to be a Rangers fan. But we're not finished yet.
Dundee United, it's a 4-1 loss, but it's against the league leaders who are running away with it. I think
there is obviously what I said before. It was Dundee United. The first 20 minutes were all over us. If Dundee United can play like that week in, week out, they will be a good side.
I think that they've finally started to click. Obviously, they beat Ross County and Livingston the past couple of games. I think they're finally starting to click. With McNulty getting his only his second goal of the season.
Yeah, they're one of the only teams to score at Ibrox this season.
Exactly, yeah. So I think they yeah, it's a 4-1 loss, but I think they can take positives from this game and push on for the top 6 because they're only 2 points away from it.
Yeah. Right, that's me. I can get a break now.
Yeah, you can stop talking. I think now it is Marcus's turn for Hibs with their 2-0 win over Hamilton. We'll talk about Hibs first, and then we'll talk about the SFA fucking up again.
Oh dear. I suspected that we'd win, even though I think you guys thought it would be a draw because of Hamilton's kind of form towards the end of the season. So I'm happy with the result, definitely. What I'm not happy about is the performance because I'm not going to lie, we kind of needed them to get a man sent off before we started to turn up. The first sort of 15 minutes, we were really slack. They were the team putting the pressure on us, which, for a team like Hamilton that need the points, they're going to come out, all guns blazing the first, But I just saw nothing from us. Like, there was no, even when we had opportunities to counter-attack, there was nothing from us. Can't really put my finger on it, but it just didn't look like it was clicking. The sending off definitely did help us. And I seen actually that just today it's been reversed. The decision's been reversed by the SFA, which I think it was a red. I don't know about what you guys think about it, but even if there's no contact, the challenge is so reckless that if Boyle is caught by that, he's out for probably till the end of the season. Like, that is a proper breaking tackle. So it's absolutely a red. But the argument that I think Hamilton managed to find a still frame image of that made it look like there was no contact, but you can never fully go off those. But and then we go and score literally right after that. It's an odd goal, to be honest. I was more surprised rather than all out celebrating when we scored it, because I thought how we managed to score that. It's like Martin Ball doesn't score a lot from outside the box. I think Fulton's just been he's had poor positioning where he is in the goal, so he's too far to the right because he dives to the left, but the ball is honestly it takes a bounce and trundles in. If he hadn't taken that leap, he would have gotten there. But it's just I don't know what's happened. So yeah, I guess we're 1-0 up. You can't really complain from there. But I don't know, just a lot of playing into Hamilton's hands, really lumping the ball up the park when just not amazing play from Hibs. But we needed the second goal to kill it off. We were turning up a wee bit more in the second half. I think, especially at the start of the second half, a lot more opportunities for us. And eventually, Martin Boyle kind of plays a cutback, and it just takes a really unlucky deflection from their point of view. It comes to Josh Doyle, who's unmarked, and it's 2-0. So, yeah, overall, I guess I'm happy with the win, but I actually didn't come away from it all that happy. Me and my granddad were both kind of just a bit meh, you know what I mean? Even for a 2-0 win, the performance really wasn't all that.
It's just one of those where you just kind of you take it, but you're not really happy with
it. Exactly, yeah. I think starting without Gogic was a mistake because we had a midfield two of Jackson, Irvin, and Newell, and I think that's a lot of the reason why our play forward didn't work is that we were just not winning the midfield battle. We brought Gogic on second half, and he was starting to win the ball back for us a lot more, which was encouraging to see. I guess I can understand why you would have Irvin and Newell in there if we were going to have a lot more of the ball. For example, I think the next game against Motherwell is the perfect game to do that, because I think we'll have a lot more of the ball. But against the Hamilton, you're going to come and rush at you and press. It's better to have a ball winner like Gogic. But overall, another win. What more can I say, really? It's a bit of a dull one, but
yeah, I'm just looking at the red card incident now. I don't think it's a red,
Yeah.
but I can see why it's given because the studs are showing.
The studs are well up.
Um,
It's very reckless.
Yeah, but he didn't actually make contact with him.
That's the thing, though. I mean,
Didn't
I
make
guess
contact at all.
you'd have to check and see what the actual rules are. If a red, if it has to be contact to constitute a red, or but
If
I
the
think
studs are showing,
If I remember
and-
my referee training, it's it is a tackle that is endangering the
an opponent, yeah.
the opponent, even if there is no contact, it's still a reckless challenge if you've got both studs showing. So
it's a
it's
very
one of
dangerous
those where it is a red, but you sometimes they're just going to get rescinded because there was no contact. So
Yeah, I think it's just the way that
It's
Boyle
it's
reacts to it.
it's categorised into three things. It's like mild foul play, which is like a ticking off, moderate foul play, which is a yellow, and then serious foul play, which is a red.
Hmm.
And obviously going in for a challenge too late,
like that.
like
Yeah,
a yellow. But if you're going in for a challenge with your studs up, regardless of whether you make contact or not, the intent's still there to cause harm.
yeah. I
Studs
just
up.
think it's so
So
reckless.
I don't think that should have been rescinded at all. But I mean that's just one of two SFA fuck ups this week, which we're
Yeah.
about to come on to.
Yeah.
yeah, so in this game, one of the linesmen was meant to be self-isolating. Was told to self-isolate, but the SFA have just put him to do this game anyway. One of many things the SFA have fucked up recently.
Yeah.
How can you do this?
It's a fuck
How?
up.
How?
Completely.
Surely you know. Surely, because it's the SFA. So who does he work for? The fucking SFA. So surely it's the SFA that's went to him. Here, mate, you've been in contact with, I don't know if it's been like another official, his family or something, and someone's tested positive for COVID. So surely he phones up the work and goes, here, boys, I'm self-isolating. This has happened. And then what? So quite clearly they've just turned around and said, nah, mate, you've got to go and stick the flag out for Hibs.
Did they know though?
Hammond.
So these set of referees, the two referees and the two linesmen and the referee were in Greece last weekend doing Panathinaikos versus Olympiakos. That game there because Greece
What?
have some. So Greece.
Why are they travelling that far though?
That's
So-
the most random thing.
So
They were...
Greece have to have for these big games. I think they have to have foreign referees.
Wow.
Yeah,
To be
it's
fair, that
because
league is
like
pretty fucked up.
Yeah,
aye,
but the UK has a you can't leave the country.
Yeah, I think because they referees they come under elite sportsmen, even though they're just running across a line. But yeah, it's come out the SFA head of referees didn't factor in the difference between the UEFA and the Scottish government protocols on testing positive and self-isolating, which should be pretty self-explanatory. You test positive, you self-isolate. How difficult can it be sometimes?
But do the linesman and the ref do they not get tested as well before the game?
I think they get tested. I think they get tested differently, but yeah.
I think that just shows. I think the all the officials need to get tested before the game.
aye, I think it should be the same as the
And
players.
they need to submit like their COVID tests before they even official the game.
They should have the same as what teachers are now getting, what secondary school are now getting, what
Totally.
what professional footballers are getting, which is the 2 lateral flow tests a week.
No, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah,
No, I don't understand if the SFA have been critical of clubs for, being wayward with the restrictions. Then how, surely it again doesn't make any sense whatsoever. They're meant to be the governing body, and they're not following the rules themselves. Like you wonder, like you guys are saying, you wonder if they knew about it or.
Yeah.
The
thing that annoys me is the lack of attention it's gotten, because it's just kind of been forgotten by the media, and if that's a major football club incident, it's all in the media because it gets
Oh, yeah.
people talking about it. But it's
It'd be fines.
That's it.
If that was
Aye,
a club,
yeah.
it'd be fines.
Yeah, so
It's,
it was
it's a fair point. And where's Nicola Sturgeon about this one? You
I know,
she jumped on St Mirren, she jumped on Celtic, she jumped on the
Rangers.
Rangers boys
Yeah.
going to the party, but she's not going to jump on the governing body
and furthermore, it's
for
putting
something that's
other
genuinely putting other players at risk.
Yeah, exactly.
If anything, it's putting more players at risk than, say, if Rangers, for example, who dealt with their breach internally rather than, letting them at it, kind of thing.
Aye, but right, like the risk is like, see if it went to a party and then it maybe hadn't broken, kind of like with regards to obviously the Rangers incident. If the four of the boys had said, "Look, we were at a party and then they ended up having to self-isolate," that's an isolated incident within a club, and it makes you maybe going to risk, in this case, like a couple of players in the youth team and maybe you're starting 11, right? But when you've got a linesman that's playing, you're then actually compromising the referee, the assistant referees, managers, and then all 22 players in that team.
As well as any
like
support staff at the stadium as well.
Aye. So it's not as, like, in a way, I'm not justifying any of the actions by Aberdeen, Celtic, whoever this season, but I can't justify the SFA fielding a match official who's employed by them to do his job,
Yeah.
and will have sufficient protocols that he has to go through, and those protocols should be followed. And I can understand, like, again, as much as I don't agree with them having to fly out to Greece to do the Olympiakos Panathinaikos game, it is Greece is notorious for having they're sort of Greece's two biggest clubs behind the likes of PAOK and AEK Athens, but it's like Olympiakos, Panathinaikos are kind of the biggest clubs, so Greek referees can be bribed or something. There's a lot of match.
Yeah, there's a lot of match
Greek games.
either match fixing or fan trouble, that kind of thing. But if you bring in foreign referees, you don't really have that problem. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Kevin Clancy could be a secret Panathinaikos supporter or something.
Wouldn't surprise me, to be honest.
So yeah, it was Graham Stewart who was the linesman who went with David Rome and Bobby Madden to do the game in Greece, and then Rome had tested positive for COVID after they came back, but Stewart and Madden had already been tested negative, but they should have been close contacts anyway, obviously, because they were refereeing that game together and on the flights together. Then
I don't want to be that person, but like when the SFA sends Bobby Madden to referee a game in Greece, we're not really sending our best, are we?
Well, Madden was already was then withdrawn from Ross County's game with Celtic. Different referee control of that, but Stewart had already been a linesman at Easter Road, and surely you should see that if there's linesmen that are test positive, everyone in that kind of the officiating staff should be self-isolating, because you would have had to travel together, especially if you go to Greece.
What I want to see in this is, I want to know at what point did he test positive? Did he test positive whilst he was in Greece?
It was after he got
came
back
home. So I'd quite like to see what the response from Olympiakos, Panathinaikos, the Greek FA, is to that incident, because I want to know if they've now said that, okay, well, everyone that was playing that game and everyone that was in contact there now needs to isolate.
Yeah, because it is a possibility that
it still is a possibility that they'll have to suspend 2 weeks worth of matches for Panathinaikos and Olympiakos. So it just
depends where they caught it, but
it depends where they caught it. But it's like, obviously it's got this incubation period, this virus, and we're not turning into the false COVID podcast, but it's like he could have had that. He could have actually been active with that virus when he's actually went over there, because it's like it can take up to 7 days to show up.
As far as I can tell, Olympiacos are still going on. They're playing PSV tomorrow in the Netherlands, so yeah, it could. There is a chance that
However,
you might have just fucked everything up.
Yeah.
However, due to potential match fixing, Willie Collum's been sent to referee the PSV Olympiacos.
Yeah.
No, but can you imagine now, like, if obviously they go to play PSV and now a member of that team is like asymptomatic or something and gives it to like Denzel Dumfries or Daniel Mallon or something for like PSV,
and then they spread it around the Netherlands.
and they
surprise me,
spread
to be
it
honest.
around the Eredivisie.
That's why you've got restrictions there to stop that happening. But
It's always gonna come back to fucking Scotland, and then it's just another shame on this league from a shameful organisation.
what we should do is we should send all the referees over to Greece and tell them to keep them. That's what we should do.
Yeah. They take our referees and we can have their referees. Why not?
Yeah, so who's the first one? Bobby Madden, Clancy. They can stay there.
Willie Collum
John
can go over there too.
I hate John Beaton. Anyway.
Anyway,
What
Anyway.
talk about rather than which referees we just like shit off. But
we'll move on from this to the two Motherwell games. One was on Saturday, a 3-0 loss to St Johnstone, and then just now a 0-0 draw away at St Mirren. Those, do you want to take this one?
I do want to take this one because had we done this podcast yesterday, this could have been a 30-minute rant. I'm very pleased to say it's down to a 5-minute rant, but Johnson on Saturday was an absolute shit show. And I don't have better words for it. 3 goals for St Johnstone, 2 goals from Guy Melhamed, and a goal from Joshua Kerr. Jason Kerr. Jesus, I know a guy called Joshua Kerr. Sorry, that's coming out of my head. Gave away another penalty, which was just pointless. It's just, I kind of feel at times right now. I feel like how Man United fans felt last season is an honest comparison. It's you're going through like this 3 weeks of Graham Alexander's at the wheel, and then it's Graham Alexander's smacked a pothole at 50, burst all the tyres, rolled the bus, careered the bus into a lake, and then we've lost all our players. So it's just, I don't know where to go from here. Like, we were so flat on Saturday, it was unreal. And that was 2 losses on the bounce, and in that way that I thought that tonight we were going to come back in and go, get your shit sorted, get the team working again, because this team can play. We've seen that this team can draw with Rangers. This team beat Kilmarnock. It's done some damage to other teams, and then it gets 2 wee 3-0 drubbings off of albeit mediocre opposition. It's no disrespect to St Johnstone.
All disrespect to Hamilton.
All disrespect to Hamilton Aki. But it's just, where do we actually go? Like, what happens to us in these times? It's like we play phenomenal against bigger clubs, like the Rangers, Celtic, and then you start playing against like Hamilton, Kilmarnock, Ross County, and you're dropping points. St Mirren tonight is just another example. I watched the game. We were actually all over them for a lot of it. I never actually thought I'd say this, but a couple of the new signings actually really impressed me tonight. Obviously, Mugabe's injured, so we brought in Magflori.
Millegoire.
You-
Come on, Lewis, you study French. You'd be all over that.
He's English, so
Oh, is he? Oh, his surname seems French.
Roberts as well. Up front was actually really good. He missed a chance, but he looked quite promising, which kind of counters everything that.
How did you think Hasty played when he came on?
Jake Hasty, for me, has never been the same player that left Motherwell. And he's probably never going to get back there again. The worry for me now with Jake Hasty, it's not even for Motherwell, it's actually for his parent club. He runs with his head down and then doesn't look up. He had this thing where it was like Turnbull, that Turnbull Campbell season.
Yep.
Played phenomenally. And then, but it was because he was quick and he managed to get round players quickly.
Yeah.
And now he's playing for, people's worked that out. He just runs with his head down. It's not what confidence I am.
Yeah.
He was playing.
I think that's why we put him out on loan, to be honest. That's one of the key factors. Obviously, yeah, he's a quick player and stuff. He's got a lot of potential, but obviously he started off at Motherwell and then came to us. Then went out to Rotherham, I think.
Rotherham, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If he's going to be the player at a calibre similar to David Turnbull, Alan Campbell, he needs to really sort his play style out and fast, and he needs to get his confidence back.
Of course,
The likelihood is he's going to come back to use again and go out on loan again. He's not getting into that Rangers team.
No.
And the whole reason is he's been a cocky young lad. As most folk do, he's just done it for the CV. I honestly think he just signed for Rangers for the CV to say, here, I had number 32 at Rangers. I mean,
Yep.
and I think he should come back to use this season, and rather than going out on loan and wasting his time at a club which is, Scottish champions on a Champions League and all this sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just get your transfer request in, come back. I'd have him back. I would. When he left, I wouldn't have had him back. But now I think he needs a mid-table club to develop him. He's got no hope in England. I don't think he's got any hope in England.
Yeah.
I think he needs to go to a Livingston, a County.
A wee club like Hearts.
Hearts take him. Fucking, I don't care. Go and play for Spartans, Edinburgh Spartans. I don't give a fuck. Just get your confidence back and become the player that you were when you left Motherwell, instead of the cocky wee boy that went, I'm going to sign for Rangers.
I think he figures he's too good for Motherwell. Like, he probably doesn't see the benefit of him being on loan, and especially now the way Motherwell are playing, he's just kind of decided that he's sacking it. You know what I mean? Like, the team's going down anyway. There's no consequences for him because he's just going to go back to the parent club. So, yeah, that's seems like the situation for me.
See, I looked at this 2 weeks ago and I went, oh, Motherwell will be fine. We'll be absolutely sound as a club. And I told you before we started the podcast, I'm now watching the Championship. I'm not watching the games, but I'm watching the table.
Well, I think Hearts are playing Inverness on Friday night, so...
Oh, that'll be good. Let's watch Stephen Thompson do shit commentary for 90 minutes on BBC Scotland. No, it's more... it's like... Obviously, I know Hearts are probably going to win the Championship. I think that's a given. 11 points clear, but I'm now watching the likes of Dunfermline, Queen of the South, and I think it's Ayr or Inverness, Cali Thistle. Because the likelihood is that we're going to play one of the three teams in a playoff final this season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the big sucker punch to us is if we get beat off Queen of the South. Queen of the South's goalkeeper was one of your promising youth prospects that we just punted off on loan. It's in Rowan Ferguson. And if we just keep we keep losing games and there's no goals in us, we could actually end up rock bottom. But
Yeah.
I think Kilmarnock's worse than us. I don't like Kilmarnock's not won a single game under Wright, and I don't think they've got goals in them. I think if we can get the team playing right, there's goals in us. Through the likes of Roberts and Tony Watt, but it's worrying times again. And I think it's also it all stems from I think Alexander's came in just before the transfer window. He's not had enough time to actually assess the squad, and he's just brought in the players that he thinks will do a job for us. And there's not really much here. And I've said it once, I'll say it again. All I want this season is to survive. I don't care how it's done. I don't care if it's the dirtiest of football for the next 6, 7, 8 weeks. Just want points on the board, and I just want up the table a bit. And then let Alexander have the summer to get rid of the players that he doesn't want, doesn't need. Build the squad a bit better, and then we can go again next season. We're a roller coaster club. That's the bottom line. That we have good season, crap season, good season, crap season.
Yeah.
It's how we've always done it.
That's
Yeah,
all
we've
a
went-
club like yours on your budget can hope for. When
From hope, we've not got a big budget.
you get a good squad for a season, but then you lose. I mean, the same happens with us. But when you have a good season, we lose all the players the following season to, big
It's
clubs
kind of
like Leeds and
evidenced, obviously, with Kyle talking about Jake Hasty. Like, this time 2 seasons ago, we were in the same position. And then we were lucky enough to get in youth prospects like David Turnbull, Alan Campbell, and Jake Hasty all at the same time. Obviously, and then some really good loan signings. We brought in I think it was Mikhail and Jolie at this point as well. Rolando Aarons, and who else came in at that point? I cannot remember for the life of me. There was another one that came in. It's completely skipped my head, but
Anyway, yeah.
Mark O'Hara. Mark O'Hara was the other one that came in at that point of the season. So we were looking really good, but it's like you say, like the team that got us third place. A lot of the players that were in that are gone. Mark Gillespie, Richard Tate, Peter Hartley, Grimshaw's not been the same player. Turnbull's gone. There's just I could go on. Jermaine Hilton.
Yep.
Like there's 9 or 10 players for that squad that are now gone, and we need to get good players back in, rebuild, and start again next season. But that's all I can say on it. I'm not going to criticise Alexander as a manager. There's people already criticising Alexander and saying we're not playing good enough. And I'm sick of it. Like this is one of the things I'm sick of. Is the fan base now are like, we should be winning every single fucking week, and we should be grinding this out every week. We should be winning games, and we should be getting top 6 consistently. No, we shouldn't. I've said it once, I'll say it again. Last season was a fluke for a club like Motherwell, and we're no 1970s Brazil. Right, so my message to my fan base is, get a grip of yourselves and fucking look at how we actually play. We do not consistently make the top 6. If you're going to compare us to an English club, like a Crystal Palace or a Newcastle United, we sit in the middle of the table every season, and then maybe once every 5 or 10 seasons, we're like up a wee bit, and everyone gets a wee bit excited, and then you go away and you play a couple of Europa League games. Great, we played Northern Irish opposition. It's like playing League One in Scotland. It means nothing. Go out to Israel, play Hapoel Beersheva, get absolutely pumped.
First decent team you come up against, you get put out.
Yeah.
No.
So I have my problems with the fan base now. I'm just sick of hearing the fan base every week, like, this is ridiculous, we're getting pumped again. It's like, Gogsy, you can fucking jog on, mate. You're covering other games now. So just
I've met
sit down,
Gogsy as
Sam.
well.
Well, I've met Gogsy as well.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to rant about Gogsy because that's how to get Sam's podcast cancelled.
Don't want that. Maybe 10 episodes
On
in.
that note.
On that note, I think we should move on to Motherwell's relegation rivals, Kilmarnock. They lost 1-0 at Hamilton. Callum Hendry with the only goal of the game.
Was it no Aberdeen they lost that?
Yeah, Aberdeen, Callum Hendry, Aberdeen.
What did I say?
Hamilton.
Oh, fuck's sake. It was Aberdeen. I was looking on my app and I saw a red logo and I thought it was Hamilton. No, it was Aberdeen that won. It was Fraser Hornby had been subbed off after 20 minutes, and then just a minute later, his the player who came on, Callum Hendry, scored. Aberdeen, their new strike force, is that starting to finally click, or do you think it's just they
Still
come
too
up
early
against
stages.
they come
Still
ag-
too early stages.
yeah they just come up against Killy, who were a bit shit.
It was Kelly. In all honesty, it was just Kelly, and the goal was a set piece anyway, so it's not like they cut them open or anything. I still think Aberdeen have got great issues going forward. So yeah, I'm just not too bothered by it. I'm not now thinking that Aberdeen are going to be turn their form around and starting chasing us for third, because that's not happening. Yeah, that's all I can say. It's Kelly.
They had a few chances, Aberdeen, though, to take, but they just didn't. They just didn't finish.
That's been their story all season. Just
Yeah, of course.
we were in the same position where we just weren't taking chances, struggling to see games out.
I think that may be because of the new striking force that Aberdeen have
I
got.
think Canberra had quite a few chances in this game.
McCrory hit the bar.
McCrory hit the bar as well. Yeah, I'm just glad that Canberra didn't score. Little snake. But yeah, I think, as you said, I think it's more Kelly being a bit shit. They've dropped down to 11th now, level on points with Hamilton, who have a game in hand. But Kelly did dominate possession in this game. But
likewise, they're playing a poor Aberdeen team. Like, it's just two poor teams going.
exactly, two poor teams,
you know?
and then the goal came from a set piece. So it's one of those where
it's one of these nothing games where neither team's properly up for it, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, that's.
I mean, on my app, it gave Joe Lewis man of the match. I think that says everything. With a goalkeeper's man of the match in a 1-0 win.
Yeah,
exactly.
But Joe Lewis, to get his 15th clean sheet of the season, he's top in that respect. The other game this weekend was a 1-1 draw between St Mirren and Livy. As Livy starting to turn, that they've had like a little stumble with 2 losses in the belt, so they started to turn around the 1-0 draw away from home. Is that them starting to turn it around ahead of the League Cup final?
All they are. I mean, they had a good spell, but all they are this season is a mid-table team. So that I think that's showing that they've gone and won plenty of games, lost a few, and then they've drawn one. Like, I don't. It depends what you want from Livingston. Like, if you're one of the people that saying that they're going to go on and finish third, I mean, they could have at one point, but their form now has proven that they won't do that. They'll just kind of sit around the table.
Sit around 5th, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's still a really good season for them. Don't get me wrong. But, they're just kind of leveling out. I don't think they're going to be anything spectacular the rest of the season.
I kind of agree with what Sam's saying. I think it's just Martindale gearing them up for a cup final. Kind of saying that.
Do you see that video? Martindale is looking at the. It's no bad trophy, that just really nonchalantly like handling the trophy, like.
Well, the cup finals this Sunday. Between Livingston and St Johnstone.
It's now upon us.
Obviously we'll get onto this when we do the predictions, but it does look like it's going to be an interesting game between the two of them.
We're not on predictions yet, though.
We're not on the predictions yet, but St Johnstone have the stronger form going into this. I think there are only 2 losses in the past 5 games were against Old Firm teams. including a win over Livingston as well. This is one that could be an interesting one to
I mean,
watch.
these teams, it really just depends who turns up on the day. I think they're quite evenly matched. So
It's gonna be one of those games where because both teams are not ones who win silverware on a consistent basis, it's going to be one who turns up on the day who wants it more, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
All cup games are like that. Form goes out the window when you're in a cup final.
And my personal take would be that St Johnstone will come out on top, but like you're saying, it could be anyone. It could be Livy could turn up on the day. Like genuinely, when it's these teams, when it's these teams that in the league or maybe mid-table, they're kind of around the same position. Like you really can't say you can't say there's a clear favourite for this.
No.
See, I think when you're looking at this, like a game like this, I think this now explains why Livy played so well against St Mirren, and St Johnstone came out and done an absolute demolition derby against us. It's
Aye.
probably the respect of both managers going, I need to see something for you today,
Yeah,
or you're not
You're
getting
earning
a cup
your-
final spot.
earning
You're
your
earning your
place
place in my final 11 for a cup final. And I think because there's enough fight in both teams, it will be a very interesting game, and I can see it going right down to the wire. I honestly can't see it being I can't see it being a scrappy 1-0 then, and I think it will could go all the way to penalties, or it could even be like a 3-2. It could be a high scoring game. It just depends on who's more up for it on the day. As Kyle said, form goes out the window when you're in a cup final. But I'm not going to say my prediction now, obviously we'll come on to that later, but
Yeah.
I quite like the Marcus, anyone can win it.
well, anyone can win it. I mean,
Never
Well,
know, guys.
n-
This could be the mysterious 5 each.
this could be the 5-5, aye.
Yeah.
The odds are even for this game. They're pretty much for both teams to win. They're dead on equal from the unnamed betting
Yeah.
company that I'm looking at. So
It was by any chance bet 1 year.
yes, it is actually. Yeah.
bet F90.
Is there any other games we need to cover, guys, or is that everything?
That's all the games
I think that's all.
from this
Lovely.
weekend. Yeah.
Is
I
this
think-
is this my quiz?
This is
I
quiz
think
time.
so,
Yeah.
mate.
Okay. Well, so I think there's 4 rounds.
Cool.
I guess we should just jump right into it. So
Mhm.
round 1. So I was thinking, I don't know why I was thinking about this. Probably just lockdown boredom. But I was thinking about clubs that have retired shirt numbers. So in Scotland, there are 2 main Scottish clubs that have retired shirt numbers in honour of players. I think Rangers have unofficially retired the number 12
Mhm.
for the fans, and I think Aberdeen have done as well. I can't remember, but there are 2 clubs that have retired shirt numbers specifically for players. So you get 1 point per club, whoever can name these clubs. You get a further point if you can name each of the players, and you get another point per number that you name. So 2 numbers, 2 players, 2 clubs. So 6 points up for grabs. So who can start me off with the clubs?
I feel like
Motherwell,
Celtic have
Yep.
as well.
Motherwell, number 10, Phil O'Donnell.
And Lewis
Um,
straight up with 3 points.
I'm going to say Dunfermline,
Yes.
number 4.
Yes.
I can take the player though. I
So
can take
there's
the
1
player.
point. 1 point left. Lewis obviously did the clean sweep of the Motherwell questions, which I thought he would do. And yeah, so
Oh,
Aberdeen one.
no, it's just 2 clubs. There are 2 clubs.
Oh, right, okay.
2 players, 2 numbers.
Okay,
So
right, okay.
we've got the number. We just need the player for Dunfermline.
Couldn't tell you.
The name of Dunfermline player. Jeez, no.
Yeah.
No
Good
idea.
Lewis, do you want to try?
I don't know
Okay.
any Dunfermline
I honestly
players.
don't have a clue.
I know
Okay.
it's like 90s.
Do you want me to give you a clue?
Nah, mate, I
I'll
don't
give
know
you
any
the-
Dunfermline players.
Dunfermline have a stand named after this player at East End Park.
Oh,
So if any of you have been to East End Park, I've been there once.
I've been.
I haven't.
So
I have, but I can't remember the name of the stand.
Is it west? North? East?
that's no. See Sam, when the name stands West and East Stand, those are no after people.
Could be.
The Kanye West.
Kanye West Stand. Aye. Oh dear. The Northwest East Stand. Aye. So if you doesn't know,
Is it the one behind the goal?
I
So
don't know
opposite
which-
East Stand.
I have no clue which stand it is. I just know it's one of the stands.
Nah,
So I'll leave it there. It's Norrie McCarthy.
Oh, McCarthy.
I don't know which stand it is. I don't know if it's the main one or one of the ones behind the goals, but aye. So you
That's
didn't
behind
get
the
a
goal.
point.
It's behind the goal. Yeah.
Didn't get a point for
Imagine,
that.
imagine saying you're standing in the east bit of the East Stand at East End Park.
Well, that's the East Stand at East End Park is the away section, So, okay, question 2. So, this question, there are 5 points up for grabs.
Bloody hell.
Mhm.
You have to name. Well, we'll go through the 5 clubs. So you've got to name the top goal scorer of Hearts, Hibs, Rangers, Celtic, and Aberdeen. And the only
Rangers.
reason
What's this all time?
Rangers McCoist.
well, I'll finish reading out the question first. Kyle, you got the point for that, but
Okay.
1 point per player. The only reason I didn't include Motherwell because I couldn't actually find it online because they're just a week long. So no offense. I would have had your team, Lewis, but yeah, Kyle gets the point for Ali McCoist. So
Oh, jeez.
Is the
Do
Celtic
you
one...
get any more points for like how many goals he scored? No.
I could have had that, but no, I don't have it.
Well, it's 355.
Okay.
Is
Hearts
Celtic
is-
Henrik Larsson?
No, although I think he was high up in the list.
Oh.
Henrik Larsson. Oh,
Hearts is John Robertson.
That's a really good shout, John Robertson. I think he scored about 300 goals for them, but no, he's not the top scorer.
Really?
According
Hibs
to
is
the
Gordon
list.
Smith.
Hibs is Gordon Smith. I knew you'd get that, Sam.
Oh, I'm gonna say that. Oh, no.
Or the famous 5, of course. Smith.
The Celtics isn't like. It's not like Samaras or something, is it?
Are you for real? No, it's not Samaras.
No.
yeah,
I'm going
Aberdeen
through
one.
sort of old players.
The Celtic one's an old player. The Hearts.
Oh,
I don't know when he played for Hearts, but he seems like an old player. I don't recognise the name.
I was going to say Stephen Naismith, but as you said, old player. It still could be him because he's about 58.
I think if John Robertson isn't the Hearts top scorer, then I don't think Naismith will be above him. So
Are you sure it's not John Robertson though?
it is not. Well, the list I found said it wasn't, but I'm pretty sure this player. I mean, I don't know. Well, I need to ask my Hearts pal Kyle, the other Kyle, but
Yeah.
but this is the list I found anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, shall I leave it there? You kind of get the Celtic or Aberdeen or Hearts players.
Celtic. Oh,
Wait.
see, my other guess for Celtic would be Bobby Lennox because of the like.
Is it one of the Lisbon Lions?
Aye, it feels like it would be one of the Lisbon Lions.
I don't know
I
if
think it is. I think it is one
I
of the
don't know.
Lisbon Lions.
I don't know if he was one of the Lisbon Lions. Shall I just say them?
it wouldn't be. It's not Kenny Dalglish, is it?
No.
Shall I just go
Well,
ahead?
it's
Yeah.
really one of the Lisbon.
Yeah,
it's
I
one
mean,
of the
I
Lisbon Lions.
I think you're just gonna go. So Hearts was Willie Bald, is the name I found.
No.
Celtic was Jimmy McGrory.
Yeah, he was one of the Lisbon Lions, I think.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay. And Aberdeen, who I didn't actually think any of you would get him, but just
Oh, I forgot Aberdeen was a thing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
Aberdeen's one.
all of us forgot Aberdeen were a thing. Yeah, Joe Harper, which I wouldn't have known the name.
Was-
So, 2 points got from that round, a bit disappointing.
Would he have been part of the
I
cup,
think so.
the
Yeah,
the European run squads? I'm guessing.
I'm guessing. I'd assume so. But yeah, okay. Question 3. This is not a history-based question. Well, actually, it is, but it's more recent history. So Derek McInnes is on 6 games without scoring for Aberdeen at the time of me making this quiz. This was before the Killie game, but the current SPFL record is 7 games without scoring. So you get 1 point for naming the manager.
What?
Stephen
Wait, what? I
Robinson,
didn't
Motherwell.
understand it.
Okay, so who's the manager
Okay, so-
who's had the
So
longest run in charge of a team without scoring?
Yeah, Derek McInnes is, well, as of last week, he was on 6. The record, though, for games without scoring is 7. So you get a point for the manager and a point for the club.
Stephen Robinson.
It's not Stephen Robinson.
I am surprised.
Is it Hamilton?
No,
Ross
No.
County?
no,
Falkirk?
no,
Is it? You said Hamilton, no?
That's
not
the one.
Hamilton.
was it Craig Levine at Hearts?
That is a very good shout, but it wasn't. Surprisingly, it wasn't Craig Levine.
Oh, it would have been funny if it was.
It's all a good laugh, isn't it?
Aye.
Jeez.
Is it Killie?
No,
St Johnston?
Sam's got the club.
Is it Tommy Wyatt?
No,
Oh, damn it.
No, it's the manager, and it's the current manager, is it not?
Is it 12 weeks without scoring?
7 games.
7 games.
Right,
Oh,
okay.
what's-
All you have to do is name the manager.
Can't think of the top of my head. Is it quite recent, yeah?
Relatively.
About 5-10 years ago then, wouldn't it?
Yous have got 3 more guesses between yous, and then I'm gonna have to reveal it.
It's not Callum Davidson, is it? Like the current manager?
No,
No, no.
Is
he's
it Darren
been-
McInnes?
it is Derek McInnes.
Wow. Had to be, doesn't it? Had to be.
Are we cheeky trick question there?
You snake, Marcus.
Okay.
I think we should take from that is never watch Darren McInnes
Nope.
teams.
Yeah.
Simple.
Okay. This is the final round. So, you have to name the most expensive departures, so outgoing signings, most money received for an outgoing player, and you have to name them. Actually, you get a point for the player and a point if you can get the fee to the nearest 100,000. And the clubs are Rangers, Celtic, Hibs, Hearts, and Aberdeen.
So Celtic would be
Tierney.
Tierney to Arsenal for 25 mil.
Tierney,
Kyle-
Dembele.
okay, hold on. Kyle got the name first. Sam got the fee. Was 25 mil.
Dembele's another one. He went for 20.
Yeah, this is only the most expensive departure though.
All right, okay. Right.
Also going from
I
so
think
it's,
the top ones. Sorry.
so it's Celtic.
So, Hibs, Hearts, Rangers, Aberdeen.
Alan Hutton.
Yes.
He went for 12 million.
No, he didn't. According to what I found.
Is Hibs
He
Scott
went-
Allen?
No, wait. I know,
it's not Scott Allen.
I'm going to finish off the Alan Hutton one. He went to Spurs,
He went to Spurs, yeah.
and it was, I want to say around 12.5 million or 13
9
million.
mil, I think.
Yeah, Sam gets for 9 mil. I don't know if my figures are wrong. I don't know. I think it was. on
I'm sure
Transfermarkt.
it was in double figures, mate.
Okay. I did find it in Transfermarkt, and I think it sometimes can be a bit dodgy.
Hmm.
So. Oh well. That's so yeah. Rangers, Alan Hutton. So you got Hibs, Hearts, Aberdeen left.
Hibs is Scott Brown to Celtic for 5.
Is it 5 mil?
6
no,
mil. 6
it's
mil.
5.9. I think so, like 5.8, 5.9.
Nope.
I'm sure it was about 6. I'm sure it was about 6 million he went to.
Wasn't 6.
5.5.
So wait, sorry, who? You'll have to be honest. Who said Scott Brown first? Because
It was Andy.
Andy.
Andy, he's on Twitter.
Lewis, sorry. I'm not having nightmares, eh?
oh dear.
It's Scott Brown to Celtic, but I don't know how much he went for.
Okay. Any guesses in the fee from anyone else?
I was going to say about 5 mil.
6 million. Yeah.
Nope.
I've got a clue, mate.
Remember, Hearts and Aberdeen players are still up for grabs. The points.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Was Hearts Naismith?
No, because he's played for them one time in his career and he's still at them.
I thought he played for them before and been an idiot.
Nah, he was at Kelly and Rangers. Yeah. Well, I know he was at Rangers. I think he was at Kelly before then, was he?
Probably a stupid question, but is Fletcher when I'm Stephen Fletcher?
Nope.
Oh no, it'd be Craig Gordon, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Craig Gordon. He went to Sunderland, didn't he?
He did from Hearts.
I don't know how much
For
sale,
for
innit?
about
It's not
9 million,
sale,
10 million.
It was 9 million for Craig Gordon.
because he was the most expensive goalkeeper for us, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, spot on.
Aberdeen's though. Was Aberdeen Sam Cosgrove?
It's not Sam Cosgrove.
Oh.
Mate, not a clue.
Oh no, it's not. It would be Scott McKenna.
It is Scott McKenna.
Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was 2.5 million.
Nope.
For who? Who was his name?
Scott
Scott
McKenna.
McKenna.
Yeah.
He don't go for. He don't went for about 3 million, no.
He did, Kyle. He did. That's 3 mil. So only
Come on.
1 point up for grabs, and all you have to do is name the fee for Scott Brown.
9 million. 10 million.
Nah.
No, it's not as much as that.
Oh no, Scott Brown.
5.2 million.
No.
It's about
5.575.
4.4.
Yeah,
No, yeah.
Kyle's got it bang on.
Oh, what a guess.
So yeah, that could have been a decider, but in the end, bottom on 5 points is Lewis, and second with 6 points
It's me.
is Sam.
Oh.
So the winner is Kyle.
Hey, always do well in your quizzes, Marcus.
Yes, because Marcus isn't playing in them.
It's 'cause
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. So that wraps up the quiz.
Beautiful.
I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was really good.
That was a good one, actually.
I'm on next week, am I?
Yeah, it's yours next week.
I'm on next week. Cool. No worries. I'll make it very difficult for you, and then this should lead on to the predictions.
Yes.
So last week's results, the total per week I've got as well. So with the total points for this week. So in obviously joint and last, because they didn't get any predictions in for last week, is Lewis and Andy. Unlucky guys. All you had to do is put a wee message in the group chat. That's all you had to do.
We also asked you in the group chat as well, and you didn't say anything.
Disgusting behaviour. How dare you? So it looks like you should be buying Mars bars for the winner. So, and in third or last, because Lewis and Andy didn't do it, is Marcus with 7. And no, actually that's bad. Sorry, my bad. It's last is Sam with 3.
Oh shit.
Marcus. And then myself with 12. So the total points, Marcus is on 14, I am on 13, Sam you're on 5, Lewis you're on 3, and Andy's on 2. So all to play for, all to play for.
It's like the only thing on this podcast I'm not last at.
And we can start the predictions for this week. On to you, Sam.
Yeah, so we'll start with Rangers' second leg against Antwerp, at home against Ibrox.
You guys can go first. I'll put mine last.
I'm going to go with 3-2 Rangers, I think, because it's like home form, Ibrox.
Yeah, I would.
But I wouldn't take it like Antwerp wouldn't score a goal. So 3-2 Rangers.
Yep.
I'm going to be controversial and say 1-1 I think Rangers are getting through the tie, but you're not going to win the match overall.
Okay.
And I don't think there's much chance of it being like another ridiculous result, like a 4-3 or something like that, or a 3-3 or a 5-5 even.
The Excel sheet's been weird. So you said 3-2, Lewis, yeah?
Yeah, mate.
Cool. Marcus, what did you say? Sorry. One each.
1-1.
1-1.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I'm
So-
going to say 2-1 Rangers. And again, I don't think Antwerp aren't going to score, but I think Rangers will keep them at bay with that good Ibrox form.
Yeah, my initial thought was 2-1 as well. I think Antwerp will. Well, they need to come out more, obviously, because they're down on the tie and they need to win. So they will come out, but that could also suit us as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be either 2-1 or 3-1, but the third will probably come like later on. But yeah, I'm going to stick with 2-1. My gut. There'll be a lot of beers consumed like last time.
Yeah.
Whether they'll be
Just
good
settle the
beers or
nerves.
bad beers, we'll see.
Yeah.
I'll move on
Right.
from that to we've got 4 games on Saturday. One of those is Celtic versus Aberdeen.
0-0.
Oh,
I agree with Marcus now.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm going to say 0-0 as
0-0.
well because,
wow.
I mean, boring Dermot McInnes football meets Celtic, who don't have a manager, so yeah, 0-0.
What am I going to say? Like Rafa Benitez's first game in charge. So,
Well, he took charge of the game against us because Neil Lennon was isolating.
yeah.
So
I am going to say 1 each for that. I think. Lewis, what did you say for that one?
No, I agreed with
No.
Marcus and Sam.
Okay, cool, no worries. Right.
We'll move on to a game that we hopefully isn't 0-0. At least I don't hope it's 0-0. Hibs versus Motherwell.
4-0 Hibs.
Oh,
I
you think that, Lewis?
2-1 Motherwell, actually. I think it's about time. I do.
Realists.
As a realist, as Andy would say.
As a realist, your team not having won at Easter Road since 2006.
It's time.
Is
It's
it?
time.
Aye.
I don't know.
We're
Records,
due a
records,
win.
records are there to be broken, Marcus.
Aye, and we're due a win. We're due
Sam,
a
what
win.
you saying, mate?
Fancy
I'm going to say 3-0 Hibs.
3-0
Not as
Hibs.
emphatic as a 4-0 because I'm a realist.
I got the last Hibs game correct, so I'm going to go with the same score. I'm going to say 2-0 Hibs for that one. I think it'll be a tough tie for Hibs, but I still think they'll pull through. And Motherwell, it's Motherwell. Sorry.
It's all right. If we win this, I will be prioritising the Mars bar list because yous didn't. So, you know what? It's all right.
Right, next game.
We move on from that to Killy versus Dundee United.
Ooh. I'm going to kick off this one. I'm going to go 1-0 United.
I was just thinking that I'm going to go 1-0 United.
I'm going to go 2-0 United.
Because they played well against us.
And Kelly are looking pretty rubbish at the minute. Yeah, 1-0.
Yeah.
I think.
Still waiting on you, Lewis.
I can't mind the teams now. St Mirren and
Killy and
Killy.
Dundee United.
Kelly and Dundee United. I don't know where I got St Mirren from. See, Dundee United got a goal against Rangers. So, I'll probably go 1-0 Dundee United because they've got a goal in them and Kelly just don't have goals in them.
So if we all go for the same score, what did Sam go?
I went 2-0.
I'm at 2-0.
Oh, okay. Alright.
I'll wait for Dundee United one.
So we're going similar this week.
Yeah.
That's a good thing or a bad thing, but we'll see. And
It's going to be crunch time at Motherwell Hibs by the looks of it.
Yeah.
And then the last game in the Premiership this weekend is St Mirren versus Ross County.
That's what a 0-0 written all over it.
Yeah, it's definitely got a draw written all over it, yeah.
So a 0-0 written all over it. I'm going to go
That's
0-0 again.
got 2-1 St Mirren written all over it.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say 1-0 County.
Marcus has
Wow.
been
We all got
over.
different results here. 2-1 County, did you say?
1-0. 1-0 County.
1-0 County. Okay, I am going to say 1 each for that, I think.
And
Yep.
the last game of the weekend is the League Cup final on Sunday. Livingston versus St Johnstone. We talked about this a bit earlier.
I will allow if you think this goes to penalties as well, guys. Now you get an extra point for that.
Oof.
I don't think it will, though. I think it's going to be 2-0 St Johnstone.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be the second major honour they've won in their history, so fair play.
I hope they do win it, to be fair. I really hope they do. Well, I'll put that in my column. I'll put that in yours. Anyone else?
I think I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, Livy to win on penalties.
Oh, I like.
I'm going with Sam's as well.
You got the score for penalties now?
4-3.
4-3, okay. Very good.
4-2.
After penalty kicks. Are you saying the exact same?
No, I'm saying 4-2 after penalty kicks to Levy.
Do you think we won each after...
Extra time.
And you think Livy will win on penalties? What's the result, penalties?
I said 4-3.
I'm saying 4-2.
4-2, right. Okay, very optimistic, guys.
Well, it should be an interesting weekend, that's for sure.
I will go for a comfortable 2-0 St Johnstone. Yeah, not much to say about that. Definitely be watching it though.
Oh yeah, it'll definitely be an interesting game for sure.
Any other games? Is that...
That's everything for this weekend, and I think that's also it for the pod today. Thank you guys for listening. Thanks you guys for joining me as well, and we'll see you again next week.
Yep, see you later.
The False 90s podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Podbean, and our website at false90s.wordpress.com. For updates, follow False 90s on both Twitter and Instagram. And a big thank you to Fransisco Aluear and his track Space Game, which is our theme tune.